Okay, well, today is a highlight video. If you haven't seen my videos in the past, I have been posting, I think, for over a year now on the positions that my business partner and I hold in our accounts, what we are positioned, why we are positioned there. And today we trimmed a lot of one of our major positions, which is Tesla, right? So basically, we had 2,750 shares, and today we sold 1,000 shares into a level and a time where I think it makes sense to do so. And my business partner as well has reasons to believe, which I am in agreement with. So we have decided to close out approximately a third of our position. So if you haven't seen why we entered, go watch my last videos because I'm not going to say it again. But if you want to see why we exited, well, okay, let me break that down. It's pretty simple, honestly. So Tesla, this is a position that I want to hold for the long term. But this is also an account where if we play around with the liquidity and we sell at certain areas, and possibly buy back around certain areas. Sure, sometimes it doesn't make sense to do so, but right now, I think what we're seeing in the markets and things that have been brought up to my attention by my business partner, who has decades of experience in business and markets, we both believe now that the markets are failing to price in certain risks which can affect most U.S. assets, if not possibly global assets, in my opinion. It's quite crazy to say it, but I think so, especially if we take a look at where we are on the S&P 500. And if you look at, say, there's a indicator called the Warren Buffett indicator, which is the value of the entire U.S. stock market relative to GDP. Just for a rough gauge to see how expensive are we relative to the productivity of the United States. And we are 2 standard deviations above where we have been, or where the mean is at every time that has happened. Look it up, actually. Google this chart. We are at levels of extreme greed, optimism, euphoria, and then there is potential for something to follow afterwards. And since we've been seeing this, and since we are entering a huge shift, when there's change, right? Change brings opportunity. And for us, opportunity is to lock in some gains, realize some profits, put some cushion into the pockets. And if prices do come down and we see that this, or we see a setup that becomes attractive again, yeah, we will buy once more. So basically, the 2 major changes that we're seeing is we believe the Middle East is escalating, which can entirely affect the world. Iran is being involved. I forget exactly how much output their oil is to the rest of the world. Above 5% from what I believe, right? We are seeing countries starting to pick their sides, separate. We are basically nearing an election where the tone of the global stages will start to shift. And when there is change, there is uncertainty. And when there is uncertainty, there is usually fear in the markets. And that's something that we kind of believe is happening. So Tesla, if we break it down, basically, I've done this multiple times in the channel. Okay, ignore all these levels. Remove all horizontal trend lines. Okay. So basically, boom, just like that. I've been talking about this downtrend for probably over a year now, literally. And we had the robotaxi event. Basically, it was a shakeout, in my opinion. Everything there is expected. And then we have great earnings, right? Nice margins. Cybertruck with gross profitability. So now everything's changed. People are believing Tesla, believing Elon, believing the future. price action is showing that we have potential for a continuation higher towards our targets. Yet we do see risks in the medium to short term, which to me is probably 1 to 3 quarters, which, yeah, makes sense to make some profit, lock it in. If prices continue to go up, sure, we still have 2/3 of this position to hold higher. And if prices fail, then we have the opportunity to re-add, reassess, see if it makes sense, and see if the grass looks greener onto the other side after any sort of meltdown or shakeup happens in assets, right? And if you look at leverage levels, if you look at percentage of equities for household net worth, it is at record levels, right? So there is concentration, right? Concentration is your best friend, right? If you're trying to really grow accounts, but it is your biggest enemy if you are one of the concentrated players where everybody else is in. So just be mindful of that. Tesla, today we closed out 52,000. We're still unrealized 94,000 on this position. We would like to get back in. If prices do go up and then come down, maybe we'll have to get back in, sacrifice bringing up our average. But that is the game, right? It's not perfect. You just have to make probabilistic decisions. And if it makes sense and you have the confidence and the experience and the will to put some money on the line, then that is what you should do. So if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed the talk, if you have any disagreements, if you have any agreements, please comment below, please like the video, and please subscribe.